Dear Healthy Writer, I'm suffering from maladaptive daydreaming since 5 years. Initially, I thought it was just fun and it's common, but as I grew up, I realized it's becoming an obstacle for performing daily activities, especially studying. I'm good in my studies, but due to this, I've started to score low marks. I've tried to stop this habit and failed miserably. I observed I can only distance myself from this habit at maximum only 3 days from 4 days. It's becoming like oxygen that I need to breathe at any cost. No one knows this in my family. Everyone, my friends, family, neighbors, think I'm perfect. But still, I have no idea why I'm doing this thing. My parents trust me so much. How can I win this? I want to become a normal self. Give me your advice. As always, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I just want to announce that I have now started a Patreon. Thank you so much to the first patron on there, Greg Wider. I will link below so you can join that Patreon if you would like, and I really appreciate all the support. I do this channel independently, so it takes quite a bit of work, but I enjoy doing it and I love connecting with y'all. So please join me over on Patreon and I'll continue seeing you here. There are so many emotional reasons people turn to maladaptive daydreaming, and in your letter I hear stress, I hear anxiety, I hear fear, I hear perfectionism, I hear borderline despair, I hear suffocation. It just sounds like you're at the end of your rope. You know, you describe maladaptive daydreaming as oxygen. So what I really want for you, Sonu, what I really hope for you is that you can find other means of oxygen. Meditation, getting actual, real-life oxygen, using anything to calm your system. Acupressure, yoga, daily walks. Walking is one of the ways that, I calm my body as well. Breath work is huge, even without meditation, even without yoga. Alternate nostril breathing is great. Box breathing. I have a couple tutorials in my shorts. I'm planning on putting up more breath work, but there's so many YouTubers that you can also find tutorials. One of my favorite methods is actually tapping or meridian tapping. I know I've done emotional freedom tapping on this channel, but there's also like body tapping. If you feel areas where you're stressed, you can tap on those and it will relieve some of the anxious energy. So a lot of the times when we're stressed and anxious, we get that energy kind of stuck inside our chest. So you can just tap lightly on your chest with your closed fists. I do this probably every single week and it feels good. Sometimes I'll just walk around my apartment and do it. If you feel yourself getting into a loop of maladaptive daydreaming, you could do this as well. And actually tapping when you feel yourself going into maladaptive daydreaming might actually help you ground yourself. You do say it sounds like you have mitigated the habit. You've decreased your maladaptive daydreaming. I hope you can give yourself some acknowledgement. It sounds like it is working to decrease the habit. It's going to take time for you to quit this habit. It took time for this habit to form. So I hope you can just give yourself kind of a, self-containing hug, as Dr. Peter Levine says, the trauma researcher and author. Just put your hand under one armpit, grab the other side, and just allow yourself some calm. Take some deep breaths. We're all allowed calm. We're all allowed relaxation. You don't have to study all the time. And you don't have to be so hard on yourself for maladaptive daydreaming. It's not the worst thing in the world. You can get beyond it. You mentioned that no one knows you do this habit. I wonder if you would consider, or if you have access to going to therapy of any kind. I recommend therapy for a lot of people on this channel because I think most, if not everyone, basically everyone, can benefit from it. I never actually spoke with my therapist about maladaptive daydreaming. It didn't feel necessary to me. But we talked about other things that were totally relevant to helping me heal this habit or get past this habit. I did therapy for PTSD, depression, anxiety, relationship challenges, career challenges. So I think if you find different areas of decreasing the stress across your life, you won't feel quite the same need to rely upon this maladaptive habit. I hope you can also find softness in yourself, in your approach to healing from this habit. I wonder also if maybe you could write down the benefits of maladaptive daydreaming. When we do a habit, we get something out of it. So I know you're getting a lot of stress from this habit, but you also write, it feels like oxygen. So I think one of the things, you're getting, stress relief, you're finding other kinds of relief through this. If you write down all the benefits from this habit, you'll have a list. So say it's a stress relief, then you can make another list and write down any things you can do that would get you the same benefit of the stress relief that isn't maladaptive daydreaming. And you can do that with every single benefit so that when you do start going into a stress response and going into maladaptive daydreaming, you can do a different habit. That's where meditation might come in. That's where walking might come in. Yoga, EFT, meridian tapping, general exercise, and more fun, more people. Can you talk to anyone, even if it's just to say, I'm really stressed out. I feel really stressed that I'm not going to achieve my academic desires and dreams. You don't have to contextualize it as maladaptive daydreaming. If you want to, you can, but not everyone will understand it, and it might not be helpful to contextualize it as that. But what people do generally understand is fear and anxiety and stress about the future. I think, talking to someone, talking to your friends, family, neighbors, someone you feel comfortable with, therapist, someone you can just say, hey, I know everything looks good on the outside with my studying, but I'm hurting and I need some help. I need some stress relief. I need some fun. Those are really the overarching things I see. So Sonu, more fun, more alternatives for stress relief beyond maladaptive daydreaming, talking to other people about the stress and anxiety you're dealing with. And it might also be helpful to do fear setting. I have a video on this channel about that. But what if you just wrote, what if I didn't get into university? And list all the terrible things that could happen, and then list things that you could do if that does happen, and so on and so on. I know that probably sounds like a scary exercise, but a lot of what creates more fear is the unknown. So if you have this big seeming fear and around are all these scary unknowns, if you shine light on the unknowns, then you can decrease the fear. It loses power. You get to say, hey, I see you and I'll know what to do if that does come up. So I highly recommend the fear setting and all the other stress decreasing habits you can turn to. And please talk to other people in your life. Please find someone supportive, whether it's a therapist, family, or friends. You may think you're doing a great job at being perfection, whatever that looks like. But I think your friends would probably be relieved to know that, like, not everything is perfect behind, you know, whatever facade you're putting out there. Every human has imperfections, and sometimes what can bring us closer to each other is being vulnerable and expressing those imperfections. And that's how you can get closer with humans and really connect emotionally. Thank you for writing in. I believe in you. But more important than the studying or the habits, just taking care of yourself and having those support systems that will lend toward a happier and more meaningful life. You deserve that. That's way more important than being, you know, the embodiment of perfection. That's boring. You don't have to be that. No one has to be that. So I'm sending you love, and good spirits. Hope that's helpful. Everyone else, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you have a question you would like to ask, please consider writing in. The Google form link is below. Take care, y'all.